And now, for an Angela Bennett Show exclusive interview with Bishop J Drew Sheard of GEI.
Radio1.com. I am Angela Bennett this Saturday morning, and we are so excited because we have an exclusive interview. Yes, I did say exclusive interview with the one and only Bishop J Drew Sheard from Detroit, Michigan. How are you, Bishop?
Hey, Angie, how are you?
I am marvelous, and I am so excited to see you and talk to you.
Well, it's a pleasure. I love, Houston is like my second home,
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you guys are family.
Yes, I love Houston, and of course, you and your family are part of my family. So I'm so happy to be here with you on today.
Yes, sir. Well, we're going to get straight to the point. First of all, I want to say that I know that you are a pastor. I know that you are a husband. I know that you are a father. I know that you sit on the bishop board. I know that you are a brother-in-law to a couple of the Clark sisters. And I know that you are a brother to your own brother. And I just wanted to ask you, how do you handle and wear all of those hats?
Oh, well, first of all, everything that you call, I love to do, and so when you start talking about the different things that we do, if you have a genuine love for doing those things, then it makes it easier. First of all, I love pastoring. A lot of people say, well, how do you do this? How do you do that?
Right.
I love that. I love people. And of course, I love my wife. We just celebrated on
A couple days ago.
Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday. We just celebrated 36 years of marriage.
Congratulations.
Wow. Is it 36 years?
36 years. And so I love her, and I told her, I said, I've been with you most of my life, over half of my life, and so I say, and I ain't tired yet. So just
all right now. I like that.
So we get along fine, and then of course I have my children. Of course I love them, Kiara and J Drew, and they're a blessing to me. I appreciate them. I appreciate how we all stick together, and then my sister-in-laws, of course, Twinkie, Jackie, and Dorinda. Of course, we all get along, and we don't have problems because we like each other.
Good.
And that's very important, and I don't have problems. Of course, Twinkie and I were close before Karen and I got married. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Dorinda and we got close leading up to our marriage because we were doing ministry together. And of course, Dorinda and I have been doing ministry together for over 40 years. We started on a crusade team. A lot of people don't know that. And she was the only female, and it was 3 brothers. But we used to go across the city doing crusades. And of course, we've been close ever since. Now, she's like a real sister because she fusses at me all the time. but everything else is, we get along. I like what I'm doing, sitting on the general board. It's a pleasure.
Yes.
The people of God. I'm up for re-election in November. If I'm fortunate enough to be re-elected, this will be my 3rd term. I appreciate serving the people of God, and the people of God, I think that sitting on this board gives me an opportunity to take their concerns to the top level of the church. And of course, there's so many things that happen that I get an opportunity to voice that in our board meetings. And it's a blessing because we look forward to things changing and
Right.
put into the future so that we can be effective in ministry and effective in serving the people of God. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about how we will perhaps do in November with the election, and we look forward to moving on.
Now,
Well,
Bishop,
I am. Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Bishop, you just gave us a quick family history lesson. So I have to know, I can't leave this interview without asking you about the Clark Sisters movie. What was it like seeing yourself portrayed on screen?
Well, first of all, let me make this very clear. I did not get on my knees and propose in those. and then wait a minute. There's another thing. I did not try to do a run with Twinkie and Karen. You know, I'm not that crazy. But like I said, me and Twinkie were very close. And so as you could see, what was being portrayed there is that I probably had just picked Twinkie up from the airport, brought her home, because Twinkie would let me have her car while she was out of town and whatnot. But it was okay. Now I got to tell you, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't tell you that, but since this guy was playing me in the movie, Kiara told me that she told him up front, say, now, you know, you're gonna have to come on because my daddy got swag. So it was nice. You know, I had a hand in that from the very inception.
That's good.
The Clark sisters have such a tremendous history. My mother-in-law was so iconic, and I just, if there's one thing that I could say that I wish that the movie, and Angela, you're a little bit more familiar with it too, is that they had portrayed my mother-in-law's fun side, because we had she wasn't all business as the movie
right.
portrayed. We had fun, we laughed and whatnot, and so it was good. I was supposed to be, as I'm saying, Holly Davis Carter and I were the executive producers, and of course that's my sister in California. But let me just set it straight. I have no blood sisters, so as I go along in life, I pick up sisters. Okay.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So you know, we worked on it and got the girls involved in it, and it was just a tremendous effort on their part. And we reached out to all of the sisters. All of the sisters. Let me tell you who all of the sisters are. Okay, I want to clear this on the Angela Bennett show once.
Yes, clear it up.
The sister, all of the sisters means Jackie, Denise, Twinkie, Dorinda, and Karen. All of the sisters were reached out to be a part of this movie.
Okay.
All of them except one decided to be a part of it. Now, don't let anybody tell you that we didn't reach out to anybody. We reached out to all 5 Clark sisters. How do you know that, J Drew Sheard? Because I'm the one that did the research.
And you know what, Bishop? Let me say this. When that question was asked, I said, nope, I bet you he talked to each and every one of them.
Yeah, and I got the proof. And believe me, you know, I know that they be saying and whatnot, but believe me, we couldn't have proceeded if I didn't have written proof that I had reached out to everybody.
Right, right.
Well, you know, and businessman too now.
I know. I know. But let me say this. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie, and some things I remember, you know, because, you know, we knew and all of that, but it was very, very, very good. Very good. I enjoyed it. Now, let me ask this, because I know Harold has another question. I know that they've done the movie. I know that they've done Grammys. They've done so much. What do you see next for your sister-in-laws and your wife?
Well, what we're talking now about putting together a book, doing a book with the Clark sisters. And then hopefully, you know, we're doing some talk also with Broadway. Hopefully a play can go to Broadway. So we're still talking and trying to do some negotiations about furthering the story. But no sequel. I'll put that to rest now. There will be no sequel to the movie.
Okay.
Bishop,
You just want to keep it moving, huh?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna just throw this out there, Bishop.
Okay.
How about the Clark sisters talk show? I gotta imagine the View.
Ain't a bad idea.
The View meets the Church of God in Christ.
I tell you what I'll do. I'll shoot that to them and see if we where that can go. That's not a bad idea, though.
I love it. I'm telling you, people would tune in to watch it. I mean, their Instagram is insane. How many followers, the engagement. So
Yes.
I know I'll be watching.
Okay. I'll tell them that.
Now, I want to talk about Father's Day. You mentioned earlier that you're a father. What is something in this day and time where we have so much going on with George Floyd? We just recently had the shooting at the Wendy's. What is something that you can say first as a bishop and then as a father as well for Black fathers in this time?
Well, you know, fathers, you know, a lot of times we muddy the line between being a daddy and a father. You know, we got to understand that fathers need to be a part of their children's life, period. There are some things that a father can implement into his child that perhaps the mother can't do it. And she may, and I applaud mothers because that sometimes they have to take on dual roles. But it is important for our fathers to be a part of their children's life. I'm gonna tell you a little short story, and I hope I don't go too long. But my son, when I guess he was about maybe about 8 or 9, if that old, 8 or 9 years old, he was having trouble in math in school. Now, mind you, I have a master's degree in mathematics. I used to teach math. And so my son is having this problem in mathematics. So I go up to his school and I said, and we meet with his teacher, the principal and whatnot. And I said, okay, man. I said, well, what's going on? What's going on? And he just sat there, shrugged his shoulder. And I said, I'm gonna get you a tutor. Because, you know, I'm pastoring, I'm teaching school at the same time. And so I said, I'm gonna get you a tutor and get it. And he said, I don't want no tutor. And I looked at him and I said, well, what's wrong, man? He said, I want you to help me.
Oh.
I will never,
ever,
as long as I live, forget that moment. Because here I am saving the world, so to speak, teaching other kids math, and my own son is yearning for my input. And so you know, that changed my perspective totally. And the father needs to be, because your child may not say what my son said to me, but there is a yearning for a father in a child's life, period.
That's good, Bishop.
Yeah.
That's good. And I'm glad that you were in tune enough to not just turn that off and say, well, I don't have time, but I'm going to get you someone just as good as me. Because, you know, we make that mistake and do that as well.
Absolutely. And then you asked me about, what was the second part of the question about?
You know, just a word for the Black men, you know, in this time, in this moment right now.
Yeah, well, you know, in this particular time, you know, as a leader, I've been very vociferous in because I went and protested, I marched, and these times are very critical. However, we've got to have our objective, and it must be very clear. We can't just go out and start protesting and don't really know what we're trying to achieve.
Without a plan.
Objective has to be very clear, because if our objective is not very clear, then you just got people walking or people just standing around. But we got to have a clear objective. We got to have our goal in mind, and then our actions have to be in line so that our objectives and goals are very clear. If not, if we get into this looting and harming police officers, then our message will be muffled by our action. And there's an old saying that says, I can't hear what you're saying for seeing what
you're doing. Right.
And we make sure that our actions are in line to support our objectives. And that's what I'm saying to religious leaders and to all of our sons and daughters. Please, please keep the objective in mind. Let's get the goal and let's not get carried away with our emotions.
Very good, very good. One more question for me, and that is your daughter, Kiara. She has a song called Hang On, and she says it's inspired by you. Can you speak on that?
Sure, I can. That's my tagline. I think when you text me, I ended it with "Hang in there." You know, and that's my tagline. And I always said it. And so Elder Derek Starks, who used to be my minister of music, he wrote a song from "Hang in There," and so that's how I got going. And Kiara, you know, who is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yes, she is.
But another level, and of course, Hang On in There became a tremendous hit. Of course, I wrote a book, Hang in There, and it's the keys to becoming resilient during turbulent times.
Okay.
And you can get that book on my website at www.jdsministries.com, and you can purchase that. But that book it just talks about being able to hang in there during the turbulence of your life, because turbulence is the price we pay for flying high. If you're not doing anything, then if you're on the ground and you ain't getting much turbulence. But when you start trying to elevate your game, you're gonna have some turbulence. And so you need to
Absolutely. So now Kiara is the singer, and your son, J Drew, he's the producer?
Yes, he's one of the producers. He and Elder Derek Starks, that was our youth choir in the first part of the song. Then, of course, the GEI mass choir in the second part.
Okay. Well, they are both doing a phenomenal job in everything that they are doing. So you should be a proud father. What else do you have, Harold?
That's almost all the time that we have. But Bishop, we want to tell you thank you for joining us today. Our prayers are going to you and your family during this time. Just give us one thing you want us to leave with.
Well, I want to say happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. Of course, I'm so thankful. As you know, the COVID-19 has been very vicious to my family. It took my mother, and of course, but my father, it took him all the way down, but God is raising him up. So this is a very special Father's Day for me, because I realize, not that I didn't appreciate my father all the time, but I realize how much I love him and appreciate him because of what we've been through. And so I want to say to all of the fathers, or young men and young ladies, appreciate your fathers and show them some love. And let's remember that whatever we're faced with, whatever we're dealing with, if we hold on to God, that God will see us through. I'm a living witness that in spite of how things look, God will bring us out. And so I want to tell everybody to hang in there, because God will make a way.
I like that. I like that. Well, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your extremely busy schedule. I know you don't have time to do this always, but I appreciate you, and I thank God for favor. I will say one thing. I have one other thing that I want to do with the Sheard family, and I'll be texting you about that. Okay. And so just look out for it. But I want to say I love you guys. I appreciate you. I think that you all are so amazing. And thank you for always being loving and kind to us here in Houston.
I love you all. Thank you. Good to see you, Angie.
Good to see you too. Have a wonderful day, okay? And enjoy your Father's Day.
Tell my brother about that shirt now. Tell him I might need my shirt.
I got it covered. I got it covered. I'll see him in a little bit.
Okay.
How about this, Angela? Can we listen to Hang In There right now?
Absolutely, by J Drew Sheard.
Right then.